All right.
Are we recording?
We are. Now, you were saying that
I got the new Star Wars book. It came out last night at midnight.
a novel.
Yeah.
And which one is this? Because
It's called-
there's been a bunch. There's like some teen stuff
This is Aftermath. This is,
after Return of the Jedi.
yeah,
Okay.
the beginning of the new storyline. It was very interesting to open the book. I mean, I didn't open it. It was a digital book. But to open it and see the new timeline.
Oh, what? Oh, as far as like what specifically?
It just has the films and like, you know, the Disney Rebels TV show.
Yeah.
And a couple other, you know, comics or whatever. Like, it used to be 3 pages of fucking timeline. Up to, you know,
well, it had
70
to.
years after the...
So was that common? Like, I mean, I haven't read Star Wars books since Karen was writing them, right? And they were all in the previous...
Oh, yeah. All the books would have a big timeline to show you, and it would show you where this book sits, like 50 years after A New Hope. You know, 1,000 years before New Hope. Like...
Interesting.
Yeah, so
I
now
wonder,
it's just like half a page. Just got the movies basically on there and a couple other little things.
Yeah, I wonder how... With a book like this, I wonder how much can they let this guy do?
Yeah, I mean, I just started it, and so far the idea is, you know, sure, they killed Palpatine and Vader, but that doesn't stop the Empire. I mean, the Empire is a machine with layers and layers of bureaucracy. And
Oh yeah, well, I mean that's just it, right? Is that an engine like that, like for lack of a better term, an empire?
Sure.
You know, there's going to be a succession, right?
Yeah, so that's the Wedge accidentally stumbles onto this meeting that is happening of, you know, the basically remnants of the Empire to try to decide how to move forward.
But Wedge is like a X-wing pilot, right? I mean, how does he stumble onto it? Does he
He's
is he just like hovering outside the window in his X-wing, or
in the beginning of the book, he is not an X-wing. He's scouting out the outer rim, trying to find where the Empire is, and he accidentally basically jumps into the middle of their fucking meeting.
Oh, I mean, of the craft.
Yeah.
Okay. See, I mean, I pictured.
What?
I only think of him as being like, I think of him and his X-wing are like one character.
Uh-huh.
So I think of him as like just always sort of being in the X-wing. Like no matter what he does, he's always in there.
No, he's a character.
I guess he's a person. Yeah. See, you read a bunch of X-wing books.
Yeah.
So you know, for him, he's like a full character for you. For me, he has a couple lines.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he's always sort of behind the thing or standing by an X-wing, or he's about ready to fly.
No, he becomes General Wedge until he's
Still?
Well, I don't not in the, I mean, that was in the old timeline.
Yeah, it's like you have to.
He got demoted.
You have to synchronize these two warring universes.
Yeah, it's a little weird to start over basically and be like, all right, I'm starting over at the end of Return of the Jedi.
Exactly, and now he works in a diner.
There's no Thrawn, right?
Right. Yeah. Thrawn. I mean, that's the biggest part, right?
Yeah. Well, one of them.
Well, I mean, I'm saying that like Thrawn is in command of all this crazy shit.
Yeah.
There's this, you know, and in that one, that's where they had that like Lost fleet, right?
Right.
Yeah. But back then, it's like a lot of Jorus. Remember that other like that clone?
Yeah.
And then there was Mara Jade, obviously. I wonder if they'll keep any of that stuff. Or if it's all, I mean, if it's in that way, is it a typical like corporate takeover where it's like, hey, every cool thing that was made before us is bullshit.
Yeah, I don't want to be associated with any of my predecessors' work.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's just, you know, it didn't happen when I was here, so it sucks.
Yeah.
When not every one of those things sucks.
Yeah, that would be interesting to see if they pick up any of that stuff.
Yeah, because some of it is there. Some of it is cool to add.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I say, I mean, I wonder how much space, how much room to breathe they'll actually give this author.
My guess
how much
is
can they, right? I mean, how much can they really?
Between Return of the Jedi and the next movie, my guess is they had it pretty well planned out.
Yeah.
And they gave him a probably pretty solid, I mean, who knows? But my guess is that J.J. Abrams had a plan for what happens in those years.
Yeah, his entire life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In case he ever got the chance to reboot Star Trek and Star Wars. What the fuck, dude?
Yeah.
What happens? Does he just vibrate sometimes? Like, does he just like writhe in place? With
I was
pleasure?
thinking about that last night as I was reading the book. Like, to have done it to Star Trek is pretty amazing, but then when they offer you Star Wars, like, I mean, I know there's all those interviews where he said he was nervous, he didn't want to do it, but I mean that's true. Like, I can't imagine the pressure.
No, that
of
probably
rebooting a cultural phenomenon. Like, I mean, Star Trek is one thing, but to me, Star Wars is even bigger.
Yeah, it'd be like rebooting the Bible. All right,
Yeah.
What's your spin going to be
On Jesus?
Yeah, on the Lord.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know. I got some cool ideas for sort of what happens like after. But yeah, that's the thing. It's like the Bible sort of precludes any of that. Like with all the Revelation stuff,
Yeah.
like they end the universe. Yeah, he wasn't fucking around.
Yeah.
They end the whole universe. There's no more stories there. You know what I mean? It's all blood.
There's no Bible EU.
No, it's all blood, and then the moon falls down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's a lot of bugs.
Which also sounds like Star Wars stuff.
Yeah, honestly, it gets pretty sci-fi. I mean, it isn't like, COBOL level sci-fi.
No.
But, it's
What
got
if this was Cobalt?
No, it's not Cobol, it's Kolob.
Kolob, that's what it is.
Excuse me.
And I think it's not actually, I don't think the planet is Kolob. I think it's the planet nearest the sun, the star Kolob.
Yeah?
I think it's in the Kolob system.
Kolob. It's a star. Kolob is a star or planet described in Mormon scripture, so that sucks.
A star or planet?
It's a star or a planet, whatever you want. When you want to be a star, fine. You want to be a planet?
It seems like
that's
an
cool.
important distinction.
Yeah, while the Book of Abraham refers to Kolob as a star, it also refers to planets as stars. Because they didn't know anything.
Yeah.
Listen, they knew some stuff, but they didn't know like about astronomy.
Yeah.
And some Mormon commentators consider Kolob to be a planet. Why
it's
not?
in the Book of Abraham?
Yeah, the Book of Abraham. A work that is traditionally held by the adherents of the Mormon faith as having been translated from an Egyptian papyrus scroll by Joseph Smith.
Yeah, I've heard that story, but he transcribed it before that we could actually read it, like read Egyptian.
Yeah.
And then later on we learned like the hieroglyphics, like how to read it. And there were these Mormon scholars who were like, "Oh, now we can go back and verify Joseph Smith's teachings."
Oh, Christ.
And they went back, and it was just like an order for grain or something.
No!
And they got kicked out of the church pretty quick. You don't get to stay in the church.
It's like
when you do that.
I want to laugh.
Yeah, but that must have been hard for them.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Like, can you imagine the pain?
Yeah.
Oh man, to have the tools and like be able to verify and think that you're approaching like the apex of your faith.
Right. We are going to prove once and for all.
A lot of people think that Joseph Smith isn't a super cool guy. Well, fuck them. Get a load of this.
Check it out.
Grain.
Well, shit.
Maybe it was Jesus grain.
I think the official church line is that he was like inspired by it.
Yeah, he was interpreting. Yeah. It's like when you have a soundtrack that's inspired by the film, even though none of the songs are in the soundtrack. It's a similar situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We could do a Star Wars comic, maybe. We could do another Mad Max strip, because that's all I want to play.
Well, I definitely listen. That's the reward, right? If we are able to punch this in, right? Then that's great news, because that means that we can just go over and play Mad Max.
Play some Mad Max.
It's right there. It's ready for us to play.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm ready to start building. I am ready to start building one of these archangels to completion.
Yeah.
And also, I want to find the storm.
I do too. I want to ride out another fucking storm.
Yeah, I want to
harvest it.
I want to harvest it with my harpoon.
Yeah.
Because we were doing okay out there. I mean,
if I had realized the mechanic there earlier, I think we could have done much better. But I thought I was supposed to ride out the storm in my car.
Yeah. So, but that's for the. I mean, it's for the best.
Yeah.
We can get that. The limiting factor really is the fact that storm just abrades your car.
It destroys your vehicle
down to nothing.
Yeah, it just sands it away.
Oh, cool.
Hmm.
We're going to go to Italian food for family lunch.
The place we went last time?
Yeah. The good place.
Okay.
Oh, no, not the place we went last time.
Oh.
I like that place too. No, this is
Just the one over by...
Well, it's another place we've been to.
Okay.
It's the place that Gavin liked that had like all like the Italian comfort food.
I remember that place.
Yeah.
What time are they leaving?
12:15, so we're good.
Oof. Okay.
We're fine. We can punch this in. So,
all right.
News post. That's not what I need. I need strip. And all you used all the text in here, so I can clear it out.
You can clear all that out. Yeah.
I really like doing the little news posts for the Club PA.
Oh yeah.
Like that's fun for me. I mean, it's definitely it's an extra strip, and we sort of know how to build it into the schedule now, so it isn't too spooky. But I just like it. Like that feels really old. That feels really old school to me.
Well, it is old school. I mean,
like 2001,
shit.
2000. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was a fucking crazy time, man.
Those were heady days.
That was a crazy time. I mean, it was give up time.
It was give up time.
It was give up time, and you agree. I mean, you had given up too, right?
Oh yeah.
It was over.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
That was pretty low.
It was 100%. It was over. We were not. Penny Arcade was not real anymore, and we just didn't know what else to do, but make Penny Arcade.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. I'm verifying that, my experience of that is similar to your experience.
Yeah.
It's the typical thing where it's like we both sort of agree and know, and then for whatever reason we continue to do it like for the other person. But it turned out okay.
You know what? If you look at it in the long term, yeah, it was a net win.
God, that was fucking awful. That was awful. There's stuff about that I didn't tell Brenna. Maybe I haven't told you either.
The prostitution?
Briefly.
We have to make a strip.
Well, I know that. This is just one more thing, and then we can make a comic strip. We have
I'm going to lunch with these people.
We have unlimited time.
Did you say we have unlimited time?
Yeah.
No, we don't. We only have until 12:15. That's when they leave.
Oh, you're right. God, that's almost no time.
Yeah, don't you want to go with them to lunch?
I do. Just let me tell this thing, and then I'll go back. So they were trying to repossess my car.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I could not make the payments on that car. So I would like park it in like different places every day, like a few blocks away from the apartment.
Jeez.
And I was like, and to me, that's a really important, like that was a really big deal to me.
Sure.
It's like, it's such a big deal that I think that it's displayed like holographically over my head. Like I think that it's completely obvious to all people, but it wasn't until I told her that I realized I'd never actually told anyone that.
Wow.
They were calling me every day. And then eventually I was able to like sort of get on a payment plan or whatever and work it out. But Jesus Christ.
That's when we started the Club PA donations.
Well, it was because there was the PayPal, and then Amazon had its
Amazon gift or Amazon.
No, they had a specific
share
honor system.
Honor system, that's what it was.
And you had discovered it, and so we had put them both up at the same time.
It was a reader that discovered it and sent me a mail and said, "Hey, this might be good for you guys."
God.
Jesus, was it ever?
God damn it. And it was like, and that first day was, the first 2 days was like $10,000.
Yeah.
And then we had to make a system to like continually do it.
Right.
Because that's nice, but then eventually you spend it on all of the debt you've accrued. All right. So Star Wars.
Star Wars starting over.
Star Wars
is interesting to me.
Mad Maximilian. Eventually we will do a strip about talking to your friends about Strict Nat, but I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that that's today. See, in the last Mad Max strip, it wasn't really in world too much. It was mostly you and I talking.
Right.
So there's all kinds of in-game options.
Yeah.
Because it's so fucking crazy.
It is ridiculous. But that's the other thing that makes it hard to make fun of sometimes, is just how funny and ridiculous it is already.
Well, exactly. You have to have that. I mean, just like in the movies, Mad Max would have to be the point of view character.
Yeah.
But you have committed to the reading of a new Star Wars book.
Yeah.
You just grabbed it last night.
Yeah, I mean, do I need to flush out all the old stuff?
Yeah, it's like, but also that those moments where you're reading a character and it's like you have to like burrow this new place in your brain.
Right.
Right? And you have to like, oh, okay, he's not that anymore. He's this. Like this is.
You know what it is?
This is really like obviously we're talking about science fiction, but that is a really, really science fictional concept.
It is. It's like when the Flash went forward in time and saw the future and then came back and he was able to sort of see the two timelines at the same time.
Simultaneously.
Did you just make that up?
If you liked it, yes. And if not, I read about it somewhere else and I also loathe that person. But yeah, obviously that's what some would call high concept.
I don't think that's right though.
They would be incorrect.
It's low concept.
Exactly.
It might just be a concept.
You know what? Exactly. I think maybe this is a mid-range concept.
But it is. It's very sci-fi to have to try to manage two warring timelines.
Yeah, in your own mind.
Yeah.
And you have to constantly, incorporate this new data.
Right.
Yeah, but I think you present it like that. Like in my mind, there's these two. I'm reading the new Star Wars. I'm reading Star Wars Aftermath, and it's hard fucking work, right?
Yeah.
So in my mind, there's these two completely coherent timelines.
80 years of Star Wars history and characters.
Yeah, right. Because it only gets overwritten really if it's contradicted.
Right.
So even if you read all the way through this, there's still going to be a bunch of extra stuff.
Yeah.
It isn't actually going to clear it up, right? Because the Vong don't come for a few years later.
Right. Are they still out there?
Are they still out there Vonging?
Vonging it up? Will I meet Mara Jade?
Yeah, well, listen.
Is Thrawn a real guy?
Find out on the next shocking episode of...
These are questions I have to know the answer to. But you could do that where Gabe's like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. And Tycho's like, it's not that hard. Just hold, both timelines in your brain at the same time. That's what I do. What other timeline do you have to worry about? Well, don't worry about that. General Gabriel.
No, not General Gabriel. General.
Huh?
No. Don't worry about it. There's so many. It can be a million different words. Right? What's that?
President.
My liege.
President Gabriel.
That's
what?
Right.
Huh?
No, that's it. Yeah, it's just you just hold. It's not that big a deal. Just hold these two
disparate warring timelines, alternate timelines in your brain
simultaneously.
And never confuse the two. President Gabriel.
But no, it's better. What other timeline is it?
Yeah.
Oh, don't you don't need to worry about that.
Right, that's right.
I think that's the better resolution.
You don't need to worry about that. President Gabriel. Starship captain, like whatever he is.
Oh no, there's 10,000 completely awesome ones. But if you just refer to the some are going to be better with the Gabriel suffix and some are not.
Yeah.
So let's figure out what we like best there. First, I'm reading Star Wars Aftermath, and it's hard-ass motherfucking work.
I have 80 years of history and characters.
I'm trying to resolve the 80 years. God, Han Solo must have been so fucking old by the end of those books.
He was really fucking old, yeah.
Good Lord.
I mean, people live a long time in Star Wars. But
well, yeah, that's true. I mean, it's the nutrition,
Yeah.
genetics, right? But Jesus Christ.
Yeah, he was pretty old.
I'm trying to resolve the 80 years of canon I already knew with the new stuff, right?
Yeah.
No, I had before.
Yeah. with this new stuff.
With all this new shit. It's not hard. Gabriel, it's not hard.
How am I supposed to manage it? It's not hard. Just hold both timelines in your head simultaneously.
And never...
without ever confusing the two. Just hold a crystal clear, perfect vision of each timeline in your brain at all. Always.
Just hold both timelines in your head simultaneously. Yeah, I like the elaboration earlier on. Just hold a crystal clear, unambiguous
vision.
Yeah, no, wholly unambiguous.
Wholly unambiguous vision of each timeline in your brain.
Simultaneously. Never confuse them. Never accidentally confuse them in conversations or...
Never confuse them in conversation. What? That's what I do.
What timelines are you trying to fucking...
manage? Don't you worry about that.
Star Admiral Gabriel. But should it be something different from science fiction?
Should it? Yeah. Should it be good? Should it be bad?
It can be either one. I keep this isn't exactly the right word, but I keep thinking about like Name of the Wind, how he calls it like his king killer.
Yeah.
Like the word could even just be like what he becomes known as, right?
Yeah.
Trying to resolve the 80 years of canon I had before. Well, this new shit. How am I supposed to manage this? How am I supposed to manage all this time? Not time. How am I supposed to manage all this? I have to hold a crystal clear, wholly unambiguous version of each timeline in your head simultaneously.
Star Warden.
Star Warden?
Yeah.
That's interesting. And it's hard ass. And it is hard. Yeah, not even it's hard ass. It is hard ass. Fucking work.
Commander. Commander is very ambiguous.
It is.
Maybe too ambiguous. That's what I do.
Yeah, simultaneously. And then never confuse them. And then never accidentally confuse them in conversations.
Yeah. That's what I do.
You know what? I'm going to scoot your line in 2 up to 1 so that it's actually physically possible to fucking draw this comic.
Thanks.
No problem, pal. That's what I do. And the I is italicized. What timelines are... What timelines are you trying to manage? Oh, you needn't worry about that. Trouble yourself about that, right?
Yeah.
Because there's clearly some, like, he's gained some kind of hierarchy.
Right.
Yeah. There's all the lords and stars. If the sci-fi one is rad enough, then we're in.
Yeah.
I'm fine using it, even though it doesn't have to line up 100%. I feel like President is
Commander.
I feel like President isn't quite enough.
No.
Unless it's like Space President.
Yeah. You could kick it up a notch.
You know what I mean? Like if it's some other type of president.
I feel like Space President is better with Gabriel.
Yeah, totally.
Space President Gabriel. I think that's pretty good.
Yeah, and it's just like, is it just like he's like saying it into his ear?
Yeah, you
like,
can
how does that
whispering
look?
it to him.
Yeah.
He just kind of leans in conspiratorially.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
And I'll put that like in a little whispered, italicized thing. All right, dude.
Space President Gabriel. I like it.
I think it works.
When I cast the pot, it's like I cast the rod, keeping it hard like a motherfucker gas robot.
I really caught today's fresh catch. I mean a podcast, something about nets.
Yes, it gets better when it's winter. I'm fettered by my fish gear, catch and release, get in that crease when my fish near.
Talk about a plant best laid off that stray, and yes, I crave that tuna with his peck fin splayed. But while I'm glistening from the whole sea, you better listen into TLC.
I got that wild caught salmon. It's tender and it's moist.
Downloadable content, a podcast of choice.